this car is actually a boat. Hello everyone and welcome back to another F1 2019 experiment. This time I will be doing a challenge. I'll be racing at Monaco against zero AI with no front wing.
Are you alright? Engine off, engine off.
I don't know how much having no front wing will affect the lap times compared to just how terrible zero AI are, but we're going to start from the back of the grid, and that was qualifying. Have a listen to this voice here.
Today's master of achieving pole positions, earning more than any other driver in the history of the sport. In 2015, starting right here in Monaco.
Does that sound like Chain Bear F1? Just saying. Anyway,
And with qualifying complete, let's review.
Okay, we are starting from the back. We're going to break our front wing on the first corner, and basically that's the challenge, to pass as many cars as possible over a 25% race. So I guess it's like a last to question mark challenge, more or less, but with lots of crashing, I guess. Most likely, we'll see. But here we go, to 5 red lights for the not very Grand Prix. Lights are out and we are underway, and yeah, first task we have to break our front wing, so we are probably just going to run into the back of one of the cars ahead, and
Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
that's not gone well, has it? No, okay. So we will try that again. Instead this time we're going to try to hit the wall instead, and what?
That looked bad. Are you alright? Let me know you're alright.
What do they stick the wheels on with? Cheese? Far out. Okay, we'll try again. So we hit the wall, and I think that's done it. Here we go, looking at the front wing now. It's completely gone, so there won't be any downforce generated at the front of the car. So it's going to understeer like a truck. And yeah, so obviously it's still got the Mercedes rear wing on it, so there would be plenty of rear downforce, but that's I don't think that's really going to help us at this point. And our first task is to catch up. Everyone's going to get held up here at the hairpin, so
Okay, box, box, box. We're adjusting the strategy. Come in this lap.
we dive down the inside of a Williams car of George Russell there, and we are already up into 19th, so that wasn't a particularly hard pass to make. It was a little bit of contact, but I'm not going to be concerned about contact in this challenge, because there's no part of our car left to break really. So we get a corner cut warning there, so that's going to be something we have to manage. I discovered throughout this race that it's probably faster just to cut the corner and slow down so you don't get a penalty than to actually try to make the corner. But we go down the inside of Alex Albon there, and that's a fairly clean move actually. Don't get used to it, because there won't be a lot of clean moves as we hit the wall many times. This car is almost impossible to drive. If you haven't done this challenge, I highly recommend you try it, because yeah, you'll understand why I'm driving so badly. Down the inside of Fiat there, and we run a little bit deep into the mobile chicane.
Nice work. That brings you up a place.
But we get that position down the inside of the Racing Point car there of Lance Stroll, and that was very aggressive, I will admit. There was significant contact, but we get the position down the inside of Robert Kubica as well into the Nouvelle chicane. We're speeding through this race because there's something else I want to do in this video. We make a lot of contact with Daniel Ricciardo there, trying to overtake him at the Lowe's hairpin, but there was no move to be made there. He was a little bit too far ahead, so we just ended up hitting him. But the pace seems okay. Down the inside of Ricciardo into the chicane, but we cut the corner, but we slowed down enough not to get a penalty. And you probably wouldn't get away with that in real life, but in the game you can, so that's fine. But anyway, we get past Giovinazzi there. That was a very easy one on the straight. The AI seem to be at their weakest compared to me on corner entry and exit. Mid-corner speed, they're not too bad.
Nice move. Good job.
but they slow down very early and are very slow on the exit. And I have a theory, which I will get to later, about how Codemasters nerf their AI for the lower levels. But anyway, we're making moves here. That was actually a fairly decent pass on Magnussen there. I don't think there was any contact for once, so that was a okay one. But I'm getting into the rhythm of it, and we hit the back of Hulkenberg there, and we're pushing him up the hill, trying to get a move on, but we can't find a way past. But I thought I'd try, just go around the outside here and bounce off the wall. It actually works quite well, but we get absolutely terrible traction on the next corner, and he gets us back. We try to go around the outside, but that's a joke. That's never going to work. So we move on to the chicane. We go down the inside, and we pass Hulkenberg, but he pushed us into the wall there.
Right. Engine off, engine off.
Hulkenberg, what have you done? Look at this, we get the move done. Have a look at this. We go down the inside, and he just pushes us straight into the wall on the left hand side. No, never mind, he left us space, we just hit the wall on our own. Okay, never mind that. Okay, sorry Hulkenberg, it's all good.
Valtteri is in for his stop.
And that's my cue to pit, actually, because I've stayed out a lap longer than I should have, but it's been telling me to pit every lap because I have no front wing, so I had no way of telling when the actual pit window lap was. I forgot to check at the start. So there'll be a slight delay on the pit stop here, because that's what happens when you pit on the same lap as your teammate, but we'll deal with that. But Magnussen's actually jumped us, so that's actually been a little bit costly, that delay. So yeah, that's unfortunate. We'll have to re-overtake Magnussen. But there's also...
Okay, box. We're adjusting the strategy. Come in this lap.
Sorry, Magnussen. There's also a lot of cars starting on medium tyres and going into the softs at the end, so we'll jump those cars automatically when they make their second stops. So the position right now looks kind of terrible, but it will get better towards the end as we overtake Magnussen through the tunnel. Bit of contact, but it's inevitable really. We get the fastest lap there as we understeer into the wall, but anyway, so we do have the pace to win this race. Whether we have enough time to catch the leaders is another matter, but we do have the pace as we run into the back of Roman Grosjean up the hill into Casino. He just about held onto the car without crashing, but he wobbled around a little bit. But we go down the inside into Mirabeau, and we get that position off of Grosjean. That was very spontaneous. I wasn't expecting that. But anyway, we got that move done, and we go down the inside of Raikkonen into Portier, and we're side by side into the tunnel, but we squeeze him into the wall, and go down the inside of George Russell into Tabak, and we've got that position as well. So we're steaming through the field at this point, and things are looking pretty good. Down the inside of Toro Rosso made a lot of contact with him there. And we switch back to the other inside of the hairpin, and we get past Alex Albon there, but he won't be too impressed at this point, I don't believe. We are on a mission. The next car is Lando Norris, flat through the tunnel if you get just the right line as possible, but it's pretty hard to do. Down the inside of Norris, just about missed the inside wall, but he holds on to that one. But we're going to go down the inside of here at Tabak, and we'll get that position, and we move up into P10, P9 in this race now, as 8 as more cars pit. And yeah, this is it's getting better. We barge past what's his name, Carlos Sainz. It's trying to read what it said in the corner. We passed Gasly as he's held up behind the Williams car of Robert Kubica, and we get past both of them. So yeah, this is, to be honest, I was not expecting to even be able to keep up. So the fact that
You have P5, Verstappen ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 7.2 seconds, 6 laps to go.
the fact that we're passing a Red Bull car suggests that the pace is yeah, still there, and obviously we do have the fastest lap, but we need to put in some good laps and catch up to Verstappen. There's a bit of a gap, but I think if we really push, we'll be able to get to him. So we'll just have to see. radio update.
Verstappen is ahead of you. Our gap to the car in front is 5.2 seconds.
So 5.2 seconds after one lap, so we've gained 2 seconds in a lap, so we do have the pace. So if I can do a few more laps like that, we'll be able to get there.
P5, you're in P5. Verstappen ahead. The gap to the car ahead is 3.0 seconds. Next time by will be your final lap.
Okay, so we've got 3 seconds and 2 laps to go. So this is going to be close. We have to gain a second and a half a lap. But as we move on now to the final lap, we can see Verstappen ahead of us. We're close enough now. We can make a move somewhere on this lap if we don't make any mistakes. So we just have to, yeah, just make sure this lap counts, make it a good lap. And
there's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
in theory, an opportunity should present itself at some point. I'm thinking maybe at Tabac. That seems to be a strong corner. We're too far back into the chicane, but we've gained a lot of ground, but not enough. We won't be close enough into Tabac, so it's not going to be there. So as we move on through the last few corners, we are so close. We go for a little move into the last corner, make a little bit of contact, but we get the DRS and we get the run, and we pass him right at the last minute for P4.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Position 4 in this challenge. I think that's pretty good. I beat the Red Bulls. That's as much as I could have asked for.
Mercedes have pulled off a great victory here today. After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
So now I've got another challenge for a comparison.
So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
It's got to be Lewis Hamilton. I mean, he pulled off some impressive feats out on the track today, even by his standards.
Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next.
We will see you for the neck. Crofty 2019. Alright, so we're going to do the same challenge once again, but in Belgium this time, because I just think that it's a higher speed track and we could see a different result, but we'll see. So we're going to do exactly the same Grand Prix race in the Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton, all of that, to Circuit de Spa, and we're going to leave everything the same. Still going to do a 25% race, still going to be 0 AI, it's just still going to break the front wing on the first corner, but the only difference is the track. Let's get into it, because I think this is going to go better. I think it's a high speed track, so you know, we saw like the Ferraris in real life had a lot of speed. They have less downforce than the Mercedes, so you know, the less downforce of having no front wing will make us faster? Question mark? I don't know. This I don't know. This is why we're doing it. It's an experiment. You learn stuff. So once again, we have to qualify in last position. So I'm just thinking at this point where we can bottle it in qualifying. I was thinking of what's the name of the corner where Hamilton crashed in practice? I just thought that would be appropriate since we driving as Lewis Hamilton. But instead, I didn't even make it to that corner. I completely lost the car at the rouge. That's Radion actually, and yeah, that didn't go exactly as I planned. That wasn't even intentional, but that's how it's happened. We start last either way. It doesn't really matter, but in that case, anyway, we go to the grid. We go to 5 red lights for the Belgian not very Grand Prix. I've already made that joke. 5 red lights are out, and we are underway, and it's a bad start, but that was kind of intentional at this point, because I don't need a good start. So we run into the back of the Williams of Robert Kubica, break part of the front wing, but not the whole lot. But we whack the wall as well, and you can see that the entire front wing is gone. So now Truro Rouge for the first time. That was in Radion. That was very, very understeery. But anyway, we move on to the second lap, and we finally catch the field. We've got Lance Stroll and Robert Kubica fighting side by side just in front of us, and Robert Kubica gets a little bit run out of road, and we get past him, and we're going to go down the inside of Stroll as well into the Rivage, I believe this corner's called, and we get that position. We catch up to Giovinazzi at the corner. He bottled it in real life, but no way to make a move there. But we're still close behind him at Stavolo, and we are going to be able to make a move to the inside on the exit. We get some good acceleration out of that corner, and we get the position, hit the wall on the exit. There'll be a bit of that in this race, but we keep all four wheels in this case, and we can move on. We are now behind George Russell, and I think we can make a move into the last chicane, but we run wide through Blanchimont, and no way to make a move after that. So we're going to have to maybe try into the first corner. No, actually we're going to get good traction out of the final corner and get the move done there very early on that straight, and we also get the fastest lap, so the pace is there as we go around the outside of Sergio Perez, but he's having none of it, and we get shown the runoff area. But anyway, we go to the outside once again, up Eau Rouge, and that's not going to work out. We back out of that one, give him a little bump for his trouble. We'll get DRS here, so we might have a good run at him, but he's also got a good run at the car ahead of him, so we will not be able to make a move. But we go to a double pass on both of them maybe, as we have a big dive down the inside, and we might actually get it done. Round the outside to the inside of the next corner, and we've got the move done, a double pass on Gasly and Perez. So that was pretty good actually. Very aggressive, a lot of contact, but I don't care really. No front wing challenge. Anyway, we get Grosjean on the exit of the last corner. That's a very strong corner when you don't have a front wing. Very specific scenario. But anyway, we catch up to a battle between Danny Kvyat and Kimi Raikkonen, and these two are battling away up ahead. We go to the outside of Raikkonen, but he leaves 9/10 of the car width, so we couldn't quite get that done. But we're trying and trying around the outside, but there's just not really the speed there. We go down the inside of No Name Corner, but again, we just didn't have the confidence. And who's that? That's Lando Norris, I think, one of the McLarens anyway, with an issue. He's driving very slow on the edge of the road. You can see how close he is to getting hit by some of the cars, but we got away with that just in time. But we are pushing Kimi Raikkonen and Danny Kvyat through that last corner, and we get both of those positions. Next up is the German Nico Hülkenberg, who we know will not be driving that Renault next season. It will be Esteban Ocon in that car. That'll be something to get used to. But we go down the inside of Hülkenberg and down the inside of Ricciardo, 2 corners in a row. So both Renaults within the space of about 3 seconds. That was pretty good actually. 2 moves there. But this sort of second half of the lap from P1 onwards is just really weak for this car with no front wing, and one of the Renaults actually gets us back there, but we go for a big dive into that corner and get it back. But yeah, the second half of the lap with no front wing is absolutely horrendous, and that's what's given me the idea, my theory, as we pass more cars out of the last corner, that the way Codemasters sort of reduce the speed for the lower AI might be through the aerodynamics, as we hit the wall for no reason there. I think maybe if you think the players that play on lower difficulties, like, they won't be slower on the straights, as we found out that the AI aren't slow on the straights on the low difficulties. They're going to be slow in the corners basically. So I think maybe they've just taken aero off of the cars. So I kind of think that maybe 100 difficulty is just normal aero. Say 50% difficulty, they might have half the aero, and 0 might be no aero, no downforce at all. Because that's basically what I've got now, and yeah, the car it's similar to the 0 AI cars. So I don't know, it's just a thought, just a theory, but that could be completely wrong. Anyway, we come in for our pit stop. We've made some good.
Okay, you're in his dirty air. Get past him.
We've made some good ground in the
Please go
test.
now.
Jeff, can you please stop interrupting me? Okay, good. We've made some good ground in the first stint. We've lost a bit of time in the pits, but that shouldn't matter. In this kind of challenge, a second or two here or there is not going to matter the way I'm driving this car. This cutting the corner here at Radion is literally the racing line at this point, as we get past Carlos Sainz on the exit there and give him a shove into the wall as he spins us out as we do that. But I tried to cut across him a little bit too soon.
Okay, box. We're adjusting the strategy. Come in this lap.
No thanks, Jeff. So
We're seeing major wing damage. Box. Okay, tyres still looking good, Nick. Let's keep them that way for as long as we can. Tyres and brakes need cooling. Go easy into the next few corners, please.
This is the no front wing challenge. We don't need to box. Anyway, we move on later in the race. This is the closing laps, actually. I think this is the second last lap. Nothing's happened in that entire time. And we have a bit of a spin here. But we managed to flick the car around. And we had so much gap behind us that the only car that passes us was Magnussen, who we just about send into another dimension there. But we are now pushing him through Stavolo, and he is not moving out of the way. But we're trying to get side by side with him, trying to get the nose in somewhere, but he was having none of it. So we try to move into Blanchimont, the second part of it, but nothing to do there. We go down the inside, but we hit him into the bus stop. But we managed to go around the outside and get that position back. But yeah, that was just a bit of a mistake on my part in that system.
Sat in 6th, Verstappen ahead. Our gap to the car in front is 18.1 seconds. This is your final lap of the race.
So was we shortcut over Rouge in Radion because why not? Just for fun. Trying the rallycross version of Spa. And we didn't even get
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
It's the last lap, Jeff. I don't care. Trying the rallycross version of Spa. Verstappen's miles ahead, so I don't think we've ever had a chance of catching the top cars. But yeah, we actually seem to have less pace in this than in Monaco. So I think, yeah, that was interesting. Not what I expected.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
P6. So we beat all the midfield cars, but yeah, the top 5 were nowhere to be seen. Miles ahead.
Another historic win under their belts. Well done to the team at Mercedes. Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
Okay, we don't need to see all that. So Bottas the race winner.
Let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
Well, for me, it's got to be Lewis Hamilton, the multiple world champion.
So yeah, that's pretty much this experiment. Apparently the challenge is easier at Monaco than at Spa. I never would have guessed. I would have thought that the front wing would be the most important part of the car in Monaco to turn the car for the corners, but yeah, apparently the way Zero AI work, they're much stronger at Spa than they are at Monaco if you have no front wing. Anyway, this is the race highlights for both races I'll show, and then after that, if you're interested, there will be a reel of all the times that I bottled it, basically. So if you want to see 50 ways to bottle it in Monaco and Spa, mostly at Monaco, you can watch the rest of this video. If not, hope you have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Also, let me know if there's any other challenges you want me to do, or if you want me to do this challenge at another track, maybe Monza or Singapore or something like that. Also, I encourage you to try this challenge yourself, because it was kind of fun just to yeah, it's just a different kind of race really. But anyway, goodbye.
afterwards, we'll give you a penalty. Are you alright? Engine off, engine off. Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please. That looked bad. Are you alright? Let me know you're alright. Are you alright? Engine off, engine off. Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please. Okay, gap to leader, 29.9 seconds. The pit window is open. Pit window currently open. 4 laps remaining. 4. That looked bad. Are you alright? Let me know you're alright. What happened? Let me know you're okay. Are you alright? Engine off, engine off. Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please. That looked bad. Are you alright? Let me know you're alright. Bottas is out in front. Bottas is out in front. Bottas, 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 Bottas is out in front. Bottas is out in front. Bottas is out in front. Bottas, 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 Bottas is out in front.